Welcome, SASANS, to this week's episode of SASANS and Dragons, our homebrew house rule infested game of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Spooky edition for all of you Halloween folks out there. Now, let's just get right into it, shall we? You are all members of an organization that investigates drastic cases of the occult. You have been sent as a part of the Zirkin Empire's investigatory forces to the town of Auguria to keep an eye on it and ask some questions. See if anything is different, out of place, if anyone significant has visited or left. Any big changes. We've not heard from the neighboring city of Haley. Another chapter passed by and found the townspeople missing. Taken, possibly. There were major signs of a struggle, but not even a piece of someone left behind. The only clue was a bloodied and defiled altar, resting a special artifact called the Corvidae calendar. Your chapter is being sent southward, to the farmlands where Auguria is located, and one of the few known locations of another Corvidae calendar. You are to make contact with Barley Mays, a loyal Zirkin shopkeeper in town, to find out more about the situation. He'll be selling apples in the main square as his normal day job. Now you ride down a leaf-riddled road, crunching orange and brown and red beneath the wheels of your ferryman's cart. The road parts a sea of autumn trees. The ferryman says, they're having a festival to their town patron tonight, and you'll be just in time for the ceremony. What brings you all there? And he turns behind him, finally looking at the people riding in his cart. And he finds... We'll start my bottom left, your bottom right.
Stabby. A goblin rogue. She's shiesty as fuck.
Watch your profanity.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just bleep that out.
Sure. Maybe. Depends on how lazy I get during editing.
And a deep gnome druid named the Hunt.
A human barbarian named Card.
Ashen.
And a human, oh my gosh. A human monk named Caliban Milan.
All right. And you explain to him that being a part of your job and sort of keeping what you are actually here for under as many wraps as you can, you're not fully truthful about your intentions in Auguria. So you just say, wow, we're here to enjoy the festival, pretty much. You do notice that there are flies just sort of like swarming around the rump of the steed, single steed pulling you guys. Looking down over, you actually notice that there are flies along the, like, hovering around the wheels too, as you see just like gunk piled around the outsides of the wheels. There is one other person traveling with you guys in the back of the carriage. A man wearing a leather black cloak pulled over and down onto his shoulders, rustled blonde hair disappearing inside of the hood. And he's got a blonde beard, just as scruffy as his hair. He's looking out over his shoulder, blue eyes staring at the passing autumn trees. And he says, their patron gifts them with this future sight during the festival. It's an annual occurrence, you see. They have a ritual to glean the future of the land tonight, predicting the most fertile times to plant. I have family in that town that I'm checking in on. The festival's supposed to be a wonderful event. Family, fun, and faith. You You can't beat that. Hurry up, ferryman. I want to arrive as soon as I can. No, it's just a guy hanging in the back with you guys.
Quite
Took his
jolly
time.
for a mysterious looking man.
No, he's not super mysterious. He just like has a
Oh.
cloak. It's a colder time of the year, and so most
I
people are traveling with these. You can inspect him if you want. I don't care.
Can we do an inside check? I'd like to do an inside check.
Sure.
On him.
Okay. 7. Dude, this is gonna be a bomb festival, but according to what this guy says.
I'm just gonna look at everyone and be like, I can't wait. And then I'm just gonna like, as flies pass by me, I'm gonna I'm like,
Roll sleight of hand check.
ugh. Let's see. Hold on. 16.
Oh wow.
I catch the shit out of those flies, and I eat them.
You stick out one hand and catch 3 flies in between your 4
Oh, okay,
fingers.
good.
Do goblins have 3 fingers, like
I
Ed,
don't
Ed, and
know.
Eddie?
What?
Wow,
I
that's
feel-
impressive.
I feel like they have thumbs. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, you didn't roll a natural 20. You're welcome for 3 flies in one catch. I have a thumb. Yeah, you have a nice catch. You're pretty talented. What brings you guys here to the festival? Anything in particular you're...
Carving pumpkins.
You had me there for a second. Don't see much goblin folk around these parts. My Uncle Davin is the head priest there and taught me all about Aguria's spiritual dedication to Corvasan, the spirit of nature's sight. I'm coming from a neighboring town on my way in. It's,
What town's that, man?
hold on.
Wouldn't happen to be Haley, would it?
Haley, no. I try to stay away from Haley. Weird folk over there, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Want to explain a little more, friend?
I don't know if I would say that. Probably.
Oh, they're just into a few
first.
things. They hail the same god as Auguria here, but
Sorry,
a bit more dedicated, if you know what I mean.
that's kind of loud.
Hey, can you turn it down a little bit? Turn that shit
And
down.
it's no longer what I need it to be.
So, do you no longer hail the god that they're hailing in this festival, or do you just come here to enjoy it?
I just come here to enjoy the festivities. I leave the prayer to my Uncle Davin.
Uncle
farmers.
Navin?
And we want to know when to grow crops.
Ooh. I'm sure. Just show your joyous nature, make friends, rub some elbows, and they'll give you a look at their Corvidae calendar. That's what they call it.
What is their Corvidae calendar? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's we're going to the festival. You won't have a choice but to see it. I recommend you look at it first. Then we can have a conversation about it after I meet up with my family. And at this time, you see like the path ahead of you. There's like the white background in between the opening of the trees, displaying like that this path is about to end and sort of break open into an open field or something of that nature. Some trees clear on the left and right of you. There's like a row of like a hedge of bushes, and on the left side you notice an individual with like a bunch of wood stacked up to the left, piled on one tree, holding an axe over his head, just like plain leather clothing, sort of like a workman's attire, and you pass him. Axe is still just hanging in the air. He hasn't moved much.
Just gonna keep watching him.
Okay.
Does he move at all?
No, he's. Roll a perception check.
14.
You notice he's not like you notice a fly just like on his forehead.
Hold on there, driver. Real quick. Stop it.
But we're almost there.
Just humor me, man. Like, give me a minute.
My time is precious.
I'll give him a gold.
Really? How much gold do you have?
On card? How much gold do
At
I
least
have?
2,500, right?
I have 100.
We'll say that you guys have 50 gold pieces. You don't have 100 gold pieces.
Wow. Well, then I have 49.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check.
I only had 5.
I can't
Now
believe
have
you guys
50.
paid me 50 gold to drive you here.
50? No, sir. That is not what we paid you.
Each.
Whoa.
Just straight 7.
Time is money, boy. And that you'll see a lot more of.
And I take back the gold.
I'd like to do a
Fuck
perception check to see if there's anything else going on in or around the area that guy's in.
Okay, go ahead. Roll.
I would also just like to point at the axe guy and be like, is that normal? It doesn't look normal.
Natural 20.
A lot to think about this time of year. And you guys sort of like go over a hump and down outside of the forest into a field of crops, tall corn crops. And you can see sort of like partitions of other crops off in the distance. And you see just sort of like haystacks rising from a few hundred meters into the crops. And on the other side of them, there's just this dark red and purple and orange sunset. And you start to hear like festive music as well. And as you're sort of like welcoming this new scene, you hear the swing of an axe, and instead of the chop of wood, you hear like this, and you see Crow as you're just like, Crow, jeepers! I can only picture Crow. Deep
Hunt.
gnome. You sort of like squint your eyes before the light of the new area comes and sort of like assails you, and you see some sort of like flesh matter, like meat matter, sort of like fly to the side and like spatter against the trees.
Some meat matter? Was it him?
No, it wasn't him. He just like the axe fell and like disappeared under the bushes. Like the bushes were about like waist high, and so he was on the other side of the bushes. You could only see his like torso with the axe hanging, and then as soon as the axe came down, you saw this sort of like red chunks sort of like almost explode, and he just he doesn't get up. He takes as long to get up as he did to swing.
But it actually didn't fall out of his hand.
No, he brought it down.
Okay.
Yeah, and you start to hear sort of like off in the distance, cheerful cries, music. You follow the haystacks down as your carriage turns, or your cart more so turns around into the main road of Auguria, and you can see the sort of like wooden gated entrance wide open with like streamers connecting sort of like wooden shilling house to wooden shilling house. You can see there's a mess of people in the streets. And you're about, a few hundred feet away from the what is the town of Auguria at this point. You just hear the clapping of hands, the playing of lutes, and following the path. You guys press farther in, and the sounds become even louder. You can start to see sort of like children skipping in the streets, vendors selling their wares, everything from like food, snacks, alcohol, like puppets, things just like artisan work and so on and so forth. And you pass under a banner that says Auguria, or Auguria's Carvide Festival. Welcome. Is there anything you guys want to do? There's like, this is a pretty small town, like maybe a few hundred people live in it. You can see sort of like main primary establishments as you're going into town, mainly the merchants and things. There are still like carts on the side of the streets and tents as you're going down. That's where this will come in. What the? Yeah. Children sort of like parting for you as you're going in. There are people doing puppet shows in little sort of small homes with open windows to make it look like a small scene. Getting deeper into the town, you start to you see the band playing in the town squares. You see a large portion of the crowd actually is spending most of their time there with most of the attractions. Dancers below the group or the band playing right now. Large meat stalls. You're pulling into the square now and sort of like coming around to the just a circle as the carriage master comes to a halt and says, "All right, welcome to Auguria. Thank you for your services. Reach out to Snail if you need a ride out. I'll be close at hand. And enjoy the festival." And you see, Crispin is the name. Crispin Larks. You see him say, "Well, farewell. Maybe we'll see each other tonight. I've got some catching up to do." And he jumps out of the cart and just sort of like disappears into the crowd. At this point, the cart flap is open and you guys are sort of free to do as you wish in the main town square.
Shall we? I step out.
Hop off.
Cool.
It's me stretching.
Mighty
I
stretch
figured
there.
that, like, man, how old are you?
I'm an old deep
man.
no.
It's nighttime. You should be good out here right now, I think.
Oh, I am.
Yes,
I'm gonna-
yes.
I'll be wearing like a dress. I'm gonna lift it a little bit and like dance through the streets, but like my legs are covered in like very long hair, and then like I'm like smiling at the kids, but I've got like flies in my teeth.
I follow
Yeah,
in Sue,
I'd
except
be
for
careful around here. I don't know if goblins are much liked because they're goblins.
There's like an aerial view of this moving small form and this like continual dispersion of people from the square around Stabby. Around Stabby.
I'm gonna go up to
and the hunt.
a child and grab, their hands and start
Oh no!
dancing with them.
Yes, that's it.
I want
Yeah,
to
and
go over
there's
there.
this
and
like
yep,
there's this
yep.
group of kids like running up and one's looking behind their shoulders going, "I got your eyes! I got your eyes!" And just like you grab their hands and they look
Come
at
on.
you and they're just like, "They're gonna get me!
I start
Let me go! They're gonna get me!
kicking the-
Let me go, please! They're gonna
Come
get me!"
on. Let's dance.
Roll a strength saving. Those kids trying to break your.
Oh no!
Maybe we shouldn't be restraining the children of this town.
And you see sort of like over the kid's shoulder as you're like, "Come on, let's dance." You see like this other group of kids following, leaving this other sort of like girl behind, like grabbing her eyes. You're like, "I can't see! Give them back! I can't see! This is scary!" And the kid's just like, "They're gonna get me! Please let me go! I'm winning! I'm winning!"
I'm gonna toss his hands aside.
Okay,
These kids are no fun.
another one sort of runs up and starts dancing with you. This sort of like slower, larger one. He's just like, "I wasn't gonna win anyway. Let's go." You sort of see like,
Aw.
him dancing joyfully with you. You're like, "This is more my thing anyway.
What are you guys playing?
I'm gonna go along with it.
We're playing Grab the Eyes. It's a town tradition. It's real fun.
Okay.
When your eyes get grabbed, you gotta just be still and hold your eyes, and then it's real fun. You should play sometime. I think you'll get into it later on tonight."
Can I run up
a
to him
threat.
and be like,
Like
"I gotcha," And then I'm gonna like not grab his actual eyes, but like pretend, and then I'm gonna run away like.
Okay, roll a performance check. Again.
I'm gonna ask him.
Who taught you this game? I haven't heard of it.
28.
Wow.
Oh, wait, sorry, 27.
27. He goes, "Oh, we don't really know. It's always just been a. Oh, my eyes! My eyes were taken! He just sort of like goes on his knees as the stabby sort of like laughs, like disappearing. And
Toss him to me. I'll take his eyes.
all right. You see like 3 of the kids just like sort of like skit their heels, and they're like, "Tubby got his eyes taken," and they're like, "Go after the little dark guy," and just like 3 kids just like
Too late. I'm gonna eat them.
no,
yeah.
no,
Oh, yeah.
that's against the rules. That's against the rules.
Now you only have one eye.
The kids just like stop. Like, this isn't fun anymore. It's about the eyes. They walk away.
Whoa.
They're kids.
Just like all the
Shatter.
kids sort of like disperse and go play with like some other games that are around, and the 2 that are still crying are the little girl and the sort of tubby kid.
I'm gonna go over to the tubby kid and say,
Here. You can have your eyes back.
You ate one.
Just open
And he
your
opens
eyes,
one eye.
man.
I'm just gonna
open them
take
up.
my hand and just like kind of slap his eye a little bit.
Corvusson will be upset with us if you don't give back both my eyes.
I'm like, oh, I'm gonna reach behind his ear and then slap his other eye.
Oh, what do you know?
He just like
the whole time.
both of his eyelids like flash open, and this bright smile goes across his face.
Negative.
Do you really say that?
Yes.
Under my breath.
Okay. Okay. He's gonna go over to you see him walk over to the other girl, and he's sort of like dancing along the way. He's sort of like a flamboyant child, and you see him like squat down next to the girl, and you don't hear what he's saying, but you see him reach behind her ear and like offer his hand open to her, and she just sort of like
Slap her across the
My move. Yeah, stole your move, man. You gonna let that kid handle that? You gotta go get him. Chop him up. It's okay.
Okay, what are you guys up to?
Well, we should probably, if we're staying the night, probably find some bedding, you know? The party's just started. Let's find, our apple guy.
Was Crispin Larks the name of the driver or the Apple Man?
Snail was the name of the driver. Crispin Larks was the blonde-haired, scruffy guy who was in there with
Oh.
you. And Barley Maze is the name of the apple seller.
Should
Well-
we go find an inn and then go find Barley?
Ah, man, I guess we'll just go get some apples, you know? Whatever. Sleep on the streets, no big deal.
I saw a nice mud pile back there.
Ah,
I got dibs.
Pile.
Oh,
Dibs!
damn it. Stabby, you're always taking the good spots. I'm sure there's room for 2. Just gonna.
Roll an investigation check.
I was gonna
Perception.
ask some people.
Oh, okay.
Like, hey, man, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you. You new to town? It's just this like guy sweeping up the streets.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, janitorial guy, he knows. Yeah, man, looking for barley maze apple dealer. Nope. Apple.
in there.
You got
I ain't never heard of no barley maze. And you hear apples. Corellin's best apples around.
You never heard of an apple dealer, huh?
I meant to say Corvusson. The god that we hail's apples.
Brilliant, huh?
What?
So you never heard of anybody with apples, huh?
He
He
literally like dips his head down and like turns around and starts sweeping in the opposite direction.
Walk away from me, man. I was talking to you.
Suspect
You
number
don't,
one.
you're terrible at his job. Well, he's over there. You didn't hear.
And you just look across the square, and he's one of the like main vendors with a large sort of like three desk pile of just apples on apples on apples. Yeah, sort of like a long, sort of like originally black beard, but it's graying now, wearing this sort of like sloping, it could be kind of like a wizard hat. It's like a smaller, pointed, sloping hat, definitely in his older years. Just sort of like pretty chipper, giving away apples at a bunch of different people coming around.
He's just giving them away?
Oh, he's trading with them, of course, but like you'll see him like duck down and like give some apples to some children and sort of like pat them on the back and they run away.
Walk up to him.
Come on, guys. Let's go over there.
All right.
Okay. Who's talking? Who's doing the? You do it. You walk up there.
Sup, Barley? Maisie?
Well, how do you know my name?
Oh, I don't know.
Your apples are famous, Barney.
I wouldn't say that. But
You guys are new here. What
How do you
business
know that?
got? I never seen you before. This is a small town.
well, if it's a small town, you ever see anybody go missing? Who's coming in other than us? This is a big festival.
It's hard to keep track here. All I know is that you guys are the newest ones in. You wouldn't happen to be sent by the Empire.
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
What's the
you
Empire?
maybe-
No.
You might be
We know.
correct, or you
What?
might be wrong.
No.
How about we keep
You're
our
wrong.
business
Yeah, the
to
name's
ourselves?
Barley. I've been waiting for you guys. Some time now. It's no problem to talk out in the open, I don't think, unless it's... What are you guys looking into?
What are we looking into, Barley?
You tell me. I'm just a faithful servant of the Empire, living in Auguria.
Well,
We hear something's going on.
Haley's
That's why
gone.
we're here.
Haley?
Gone.
Like, what kind of gone? What do you mean by gone? Gone can mean
She
so
gone.
many
She was there, now she's not.
Yeah, everyone.
I'm fucking lost. Haley is a town, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a town.
All right, that's interesting. I had heard that there were a few religious disputes in the area as of late, but I don't know much more than that.
I'm not all that familiar with
What
the
are
religions
these?
in the
What are
the
these
Empire.
disputes over? Huh?
How many different religions are there in the
Lands?
Empire?
It's not necessary.
I thought there was only one. I only heard of one.
There's little people know about this. Haley was one of the few towns that did. There's a competing god, a brother god, to Corvusson. A bit darker. It's like the, if you're familiar with the people in the east, it's like the yang to our yin, if you know what I mean. They were into some dark things before I guess they disappeared, is what you're telling me. Could that happen here?
I'm not gonna tell you no, but I'm not gonna say yes.
Be smart about it.
We're trying to.
Maybe we should go somewhere else.
Why? The ceremony's about to start. First, take one of these apples. They'll make you feel right up, clear the mind.
I'm good.
I eat it.
I'll take an
immediately.
apple, but I'm gonna pocket it.
Okay.
I eat mine immediately.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
I pocket the apple.
A 7. Right?
You're dead.
Roll 2d8s. Add 4.
Health, right?
Yeah. You also feel like super clear. Like if you were tired coming in here, if you were like,
What?
if there was anything getting in the way of your judgment, anything like any thought that you couldn't get past, now you just feel like clear, good.
Sorry, you said 2d4 plus what?
2d8 plus
oh,
4.
2d8 plus 4.
And it's just health. You have full health, so it's not going to do much. But
Wow.
Overheal.
That would have been nice.
That would have been.
yeah, he starts telling you about just like the ceremony that's about to happen. Like they use like it's literally about to happen any second now. Now they bring the prized cow out, and depending on sort of your beliefs or what you've experienced in life, it may be uncomfortable at first, but it's all innocent. They need the eyes of the cow. They dedicate them or offer them to Corvusson via the Corvidae calendar. And that is how we get our blessing.
What happens if you don't give it the eyes?
We've never missed a ceremony. Why would we? This is the top of our minds. This is how we make a living here.
Is there any folklore saying what would happen if you didn't give the eyes?
I don't know. The only thing that might be a variable here is that the darker brother entity. I never caught the name because I fear straying from the path of Corvusson, but that's what you guys are here for, right? You'll keep us safe. Keep your ear to the ground.
That's right.
No.
And the music starts to die down at this point. And you are sort of like interrupted by this middle-aged woman with long braided black hair flowing down her back, wearing a fur cloak draped with many stone necklaces down her front. She walks onto the stage where the musicians just were, sort of like they're taking their, like, in an orderly fashion, putting their instruments away and just sort of like walking out and joining the crowd. She's the only person on the stage at this point. And what you didn't notice before is that there's actually this very tall, maybe like 12 feet high, cloaked statue, this cloaked sort of like figure in the center. It's not moving, it's not like a person or anything, but there is like a veil over it. And she goes, "Friends, family, and welcomed visitors." And she waves towards you guys.
I wave back slightly.
She nods her head at you, and she goes, "We've toiled away all season to produce the finest harvest this land has yet seen." And then, like, the crowd sort of goes up at this point. Yeah! We know that we do not owe this simply to ourselves and our own hard work and labor. By the blessing of our great god Corvusson do we live in abundance, and by the calluses on our hands do we reap the rewards. The time has come for us to offer Corvusson the sight of one who is closer to the land and its riches than even we of Arguria. Cattle master, if you would. And you see this older, bald, short gray beard individual wearing overalls just sort of like usher this very fine-looking cow onto the stage, guided by just like a rope around its neck. He says, "Come on, Bridget, come on. The time of meaning has come. You should feel lucky. Filling our bellies more than the rest of your kin ever could. Take one last look at our beautiful sunset." And he's sort of like caressing the cow. And the cow has like a blindfold over its face. And he takes it off as it sort of like looks wide-eyed at the sunset, but ultimately not really even understanding what's going on. And as he takes it off, he goes, "Oh, I can't bear to watch this part, Bridget. I'm sorry, I'm going." And he just sort of like crawls off the stage and goes into the crowd. The cow just like sits there, and
I'm like, what's
you see like an encroaching moon as well as you're looking off into the sunset, like right above where the colors of the sunset end and sort of like the deep blue of the night sky begins. There's this deep red moon happening at this moment.
Can I go up to this cow and like pet it in its owner's stead?
It's on a stage right now
Oh,
with
never mind.
with the sort of like fur cloaked woman who's sort of like the one guiding this ritual. There's also an individual you see that sort of like has slowly walked onto the stage in more of a holy outfit, sort of like thinning blonde hair, and a blonde mustache.
Can I go to the owner and like the owner instead? That's in the crowd now, I guess.
Sure.
Just like put my arms, like, you know, if I was that cow, I would want you to be there. Like, yeah.
Oh, I can't interrupt the ceremony. Shh.
Imagine how that cow
he
feels.
puts his finger up to your lips and like gives you a very serious look. And as he looks into your eyes, his eyes shift over, and the woman begins again. I call you now, our giving one Corvusson, the one great god. It is time for us to give to you. And she begins to sort of like rip the cow's eyes out. She begins to slowly like grab into the eye socket of the cow's head, and you just sort of you're like, and as she puts her hand in, she goes, "High Priest Davin, present the altar if you would." And the sort of like white cloaked man with blonde hair rips the veil off of the tall figure, and you see this tall monolith. It's a mechanism that's on this very large foundation of an altar. The meat of the mechanism, the inside, is made out of many different shifting gears. Below the shifting gears, you see this head with two empty eye sockets and a mouth. It's a stone head built into this this structure, and the mouth is wide open with blood dripping out of it, and what looks to be brain matter in the mouth. And everybody goes quiet at this point. Blood is streaming over a checkered calendar underneath the head and completely obscuring it with red. You hear a human scream in the crowd, and as the human screams, the cow actually screams, almost mimicking it, like, "Arr!" And then like all of the other cattle in the area start to scream as well, and it's almost as though like the outside of this town is muted, and all you can hear are sort of like these like guttural screams coming from these animals. The rest of the crowd starts to follow. They start to scream in the air maniacally. It's not like a scream of fear. It's literally a scream of insanity. One human woman runs, takes a torch off of one of like the pillars circling the square, and just sticks it into the face of just like another woman right next to the pillar. Everybody starts breaking out, and just like you start to see skin like peeling off of somebody as they're walking forward, like, why is this happening? And it's just like melting off their flesh as somebody like jumps on them and starts bashing their head in. I want all of you guys to roll a wisdom saving throw. It's almost as soon as this calendar was revealed with the brain matter inside of its mouth with the blood pooling down, everybody started to go insane. And the moon now is the only thing you can see. The sunset has disappeared. The sky is pitch black but for the red moon.
18.
18. Okay.
6.
8.
Oh, looks like I have to kill Ayo.
a spell on us, and now I'm dead.
And now you're dead.
I put a spell on you. Actually, that's.
Go on.
So I'm trying to find appropriate music. Fuck it, we'll do that. You rolled. You rolled an 18 card.
Yep.
8.
Caliban 8. The Hunt
6.
and Stabby.
15.
Okay. One moment. Let me type something out. All right. Sorry about that. It's not its own contained event with you guys as outsiders. You are in the thick of it. Your even card, your senses get dulled, your intuitions get dulled. There's only aggression. There is only it's not even people in these streets. They are like slopping monsters. There are sort of like undead. There's things from the Underdark that you've seen in your past after investigating different aspects of the occult. There are specters, and it's just a bloodbath in this square right now of people being ripped under and screams. There are 2 individuals rushing at you right now, one with a scythe, one just with his bare hands just yelling at you. What do you do?
I attack the one with the scythe.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let's roll initiative really quickly. I'm sorry. We'll do this. We'll make this easy. You, since you rolled highest, you will go first. Second highest, second, third, fourth. So you're attacking.
Bonus action, raging.
Okay. Ah!
Growl.
I mean, let's just say that you have no choice but to rage in this instant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stabby, you're up. Think about what you want to do next.
Trying to see. Okay, cool. I do. Both reckless.
Okay.
That's gonna be the hit.
Hit.
Yeah, it's gonna be 16.
What was your second one?
I haven't rolled it yet, but hold on. Natural 18.
Okay. You cleave immediately through the you go through the arms of the one holding the scythe, through the neck and all the way down the other arm, and they're just like bisected. The head is still yelling, and they're flailing, and they peel off to the side.
Jesus.
As you take your axe and you just bisect
Halberd.
another one. I'm sorry, halberd, and you just sort of like stick it through the guts of another one, of the other one approaching you. You pull it out, and you see the small intestine like come out of the stomach, and you are not fazed by this whatsoever. You push it back in and rip up, like separating his entire chest. This is not something that you would normally do as Kardashian.
No, not really.
No, not really. Next up, Stabby. You see this haze around you of just like some of the most horrifying things you've ever seen clashing in this square right now. What do you want to do first? As like you're so small that some things have not even recognized you yet. Like there's a kid that sort of like looks at you, seems unfazed, and then just like runs away. Ah!
I'm gonna
Monsters!
run around through the crowd with daggers
Okay.
in my hands, and I'm gonna go like complete maniacal, just like and just like stabbing. Left to
Okay,
right.
go ahead and roll to attack.
Oh boy.
Actually,
Here
just
we go
roll a
stabbing
d20
again.
and add your add your dexterity. Yeah.
Dexterity. Let's see.
Cal, you're up next.
22.
Card, as you bisect, as you rip like the sternum open of the individual, you see sort of like as the blood is spurting and disappears, you see behind them this green form leaping from one person, just like stabbing gouts of blood out of one person,
Christ.
and then like backflipping off, stabbing the head of another, and like cracking it, and then like splitting the heels of another person as they fall into the ground, just like slowly walking up and
Can I just be yelling out to you, like, this is the best festival ever? I'm just like going and cutting another person. Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Caliban.
Okay, so I guess not my turn. What about what's going on with me? I guess. Do I see anything?
The same thing as everybody else. There's this haze right now. You can't fight it. There are only enemies in front of you.
I see a bunch of people running at me, or nobody running at me.
Uh,
Bad guys.
always assume that there are like individuals coming after you in some way, shape, or form.
Huh, so then I will summon my astral arms,
Okay.
and I will, I guess, run out to the nearest like people with weapons that look like aggressors to me.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to attack. As Cal, with a blood-curdling scream, almost mimicking that of Card, runs from the group.
So 10 for both.
Wow.
Yeah, they both rolled the same.
There's this sort of you see this peasant like throwing up, and as he's like throwing portions of liquid up out of his mouth, his muscles start to like bulge open and rip and tear and just get larger and larger and larger until he has just this singular, like, bound by his clothing club of meat for an arm that he just swings at you, and you barely sort of like connect with your are you doing your short sword or your bow staff right now?
I'm just using my arms right now.
Oh, just your arms. Okay, yeah, you have to sort of like put both forearms in front of you to block it, sort of like pushing you to the side, and a little kid just like stabs you across the hamstring, and you go down on one knee, and you start to see, like, as you get lower on the battlefield, everything sort of increases in size at an exponential scale.
I thought I was attacking us and just
You rolled 2 10s, and so it didn't quite go in your favor. You do have a bonus action if you want to do. You can't do anything like intelligent right now.
No,
if that makes
those
sense.
were my bonus action was summoning my astral arms.
Okay. You hear and I'm where you are next. Hunt. The hunt.
Can we turn the music down just a little bit?
Yeah.
Wait, what damage did I receive?
Oh shit! I'm sorry. I just rolled to attack, not to damage. You didn't take any from the bludgeoning force, but as the kid came by, you took 5 points of slashing damage. You actually hear the familiar sound of Barley as he goes, The eyes! The altar's been tainted! You must bring the cattle's eyes! And he just says, the cattle master will know the way! Just sort of like gets hacked down. As you just see apples flying in every direction. Hunt, you're up.
I'd like to do a quick perception check looking for the cattle master.
Okay. Go roll to perceive. As like the screams and the intense barrage of noises sort of like dies down, and your eyesight gets bloodshot. It's sort of like you can see almost like Call of Duty vision, like blood come into the periphery of your vision as you're just sort of like honing in. You can hear your heart rate and you can hear your breathing as you're looking for this individual. What'd you roll?
24.
Oh,
Where are you?
You see the cattle master as just like is sprinting as fast as he can on top of one of his cows out of the town in the direction that you guys came from. And you see a blonde-haired individual rushing after him.
How far away are they?
They're like 40 yards away from you.
That was real peaceful.
Yeah, this is not this doesn't stay the
We
music
found the
that needs to
cattle
be played.
master.
Can't you
It's
just
fine.
put it on for forever? No, I mean, I'm kind of serious. Can't you just leave the thing?
No, I can't.
Weird. Okay. Well, I can entangle reach them. I'd like to use my movement if possible, or if needed, I also have 90 feet range.
You would have to roll a very high like dexterity check to get through the thick crowd of crashing individuals, and there are people like running after you with weapons and in a psychotic rush.
But they're out of the range of entangle.
What's the range of entangle?
90 feet.
You can't cast spells right now, and you can't like you especially with a 6, you're like your mind is approaching insanity, and so it's like spells are not quite going to happen how you want them to.
Can I at least try and get a warding wind off?
What does that do?
It's basically like a gust of wind outward. Try and like clear a path.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it only has a range of 10 feet. It's concentration. I don't know that I even roll for this.
You have the spell.
So do I just do it?
I mean, as in like you can read what it does. You should read what it does.
It says one action, concentration, range 10 feet. It says strong wind, 20 miles per hour, blows around you. A 10-foot radius. It moves with you.
20 miles an hour isn't enough to do much. Like a spray of blood comes at you, and the wind just sort of like pushes it aside. But as the wind sort of presses outside of your body as you activate the spell, it's almost as though it shifts your consciousness outside of you as well. And you push, and as you're pushing the spell out, your sight goes black, and you black out.
Wow. Okay.
That
was me.
Caliban, as you are pressing the giant meaty appendage, trying to get it away from you. Shut up.
Like,
It was too much.
Jesus.
Giant meaty appendage, huh?
Ugh.
It's you as you're fighting this, you know what it is. You just feel this club from the back of your head go, and you knock out into the sand or into the cobblestone street. Card, you are up now. Roll a wisdom saving throw. As the screams of the cattle are still rising into the air.
15.
Okay. You're still in a blood rage as you go ahead and roll to attack. That's all you can do right now.
All right. Who's next to me? They getting cut down with radiant. 23 for the first attack.
Yeah, definitely.
And 18 for the second attack.
Okay. Because you did reckless attack your first time, in between your swings, there are just like hooks getting stabbed into your back and like your lower legs as you're like using all of your force to essentially cleave open individuals with your halberd. The spare time, you just feel like deep cuts, small deep cuts, as they're just like running away, and you hear like laughing, and you take.
if there's children, I specifically target them.
This is like every game known to man. You can't kill children in D&D, okay? But you do take 11 points of slashing damage.
Reduced?
As you're like, yes, actually reduced to 5. As you cleave open another individual, and then the next one comes, and actually like you feel the stab in your back and the rage from this continual assailment. Just you're like, fuck, no! And you like shift your arm and spin around at the same time, and you just dome an elderly man who is sticking like literally a butter knife into your side, and you just cave his skull in as he slides across the cobblestone.
For my bonus action, gonna use my polearm master. I'm gonna just the tail end of my halberd just right in somebody's face.
Okay, yeah, you just like use your elbow, cleave the old guy's head in, and then the closest child that's running at you, just like, and as you knock them, it's the point at which it connects.
Oh, here we go.
You go unconscious.
Wow.
And you're pretty sure you killed the shit out of a kid, but I don't know if that'll make you sleep sounder.
It will.
Stabby, as you are in your rage, like ducking beneath people's feet, slicing their hamstrings open, like jumping up, stabbing them in the chest, and like, yeah, Neo stabbing a whole bunch of people. What do you want to do?
If there's like a stone pillar nearby or something kind of high up that I can like jump onto, I would just like this jump up onto the top and just be like, yes, and like dance a little bit on top of this pillar.
Okay. All right. Yeah. To anybody with a sort of like fly on the wall scene of this insanity happening in the square, the sort of like guttural cries of the cattle in the area, and like it's not just the cows, it's like hens, chickens, pigs are all screaming at the top of their lungs in a sound that is more human than the actual like animal esophagus could produce, and you just hear among that this very maniacal sort of like praising or celebration, whereas everybody else is just going insane and killing each other in many different fashions, and like having many different physical like ailments and shifts to their bodies. This one lone goblin just seems very clear and cognizant on top of a stone pillar on the sort of like the periphery of the square. Just like, yeah! And the eyes roll to the back of the head and fall down, and you go unconscious. I want all of you to roll a d6.
I imagine that old man who stabbed you with the butter knife.
This you?
Yeah. Like if he just stabs you.
1.
He's just like,
6.
not my toast.
3.
What?
Sorry, what are we rolling?
Okay. D6.
That's it?
Yep.
A 2. Imagine him stabbing him and being like,
Who rolled a 1?
and he's like,
1.
never mind, it's fine. That's not my toast.
Hunt, you rolled a 6, right?
Yeah.
And Stabby.
2.
2. Okay. It's as though even though you're knocked out, like the moment continues for each and every one of you. Your physical body may be gone, but your mind is still reeling in insanity until you finally like grab, like you feel something physical that you use as an anchor to tie your mind to a space, and you roll your head and you feel this sort of like rough, prickly ground, and you open your eyes finally, and you are looking sideways at these crops that extend 20, 30 feet high into the air, and impossibly high. And the blood moon still sort of hovering high above as a black form shifts across your vision. You guys look around to see each and every one of you waking up in the exact same way in this enclosement of corn. The tallest corn you've ever seen. Corn taller than even when you came in here. One path leading out. And that is where we'll take a break.
It's a corn maze. Oh, but a real one this time.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. You all rise to consciousness in the center of this 30-foot high maze of corn. You all feel something is off. You feel exhausted, mentally drained. You feel like you had just, spent a week staying up. Card, as you rise and you sort of like push your hands onto the rock and dust and dirt ground, you see some of your flesh is actually missing from your hand, and you look up your arm and you can see almost like wet paper curled around your forearm. Portions of your flesh are just hanging off. It's almost as like you have leprosy right now.
Does it hurt?
A mild case of it. Yes, it does. It does hurt.
Ow, man.
Most of your skin is still on you, but there you can just see like seams that are coming apart. It's almost like when you play with like the plastic that covers something and you peel it off and it's like, okay, it's never going back. And you just can't help but like continually pull after you've done that one time. That's how it feels on your entire body, is you just see small portions of flesh, like just the seam that you scratch at every now and then.
Is anybody else missing flesh?
Caliban, as you wake up, you
those
feel
rolls.
still drained. No physical ailments on you, but you can't help but like feel like someone is watching you. And you look over your shoulder and you see this like naked elderly woman out of the corn, just like curling her finger and miming. No words coming out. She's just like, come here, come here.
It's a pleasant sight there.
And you sort of like rub your eyes and she's gone.
Oh.
Wait, come back.
Hunt. Similar, you sort of like push up, less conscious of your hands in front of you, but you feel this like, it's hard to describe. It's almost like a small ball moving inside of your skin, and you look at your, like, it moves up your arm, and that's how you know, and it goes into your, like, up your shoulder and by your clavicle, and you like pull your collar down and you can see this bump, like the mummy beetles, like rotating in your skin, and it moves up and sort of like up your neck and into your ear, and you feel this like warm sensation in your ears. You feel this like almost like breath, like warm breath being breathed on you as this whisper comes into your ear. You can't hear or make sense of what it's saying, but it's like a consciousness trying to make contact with you. And then you hear like, and it sort of like moves back down into your body. Stabby,
I'm listening.
you,
She's so cute.
oh, Minna. Actually, Card, you take 3 points of damage right now, and
Reduced.
no, because you're not raging anymore.
But I'm holy.
Stabby, you take 1 point of damage as you look at everybody around you, and they're all sort of like, what the fuck is going on with their own body and mind. And you just feel like you look on your right arm, and it's warm. You look towards it, and it's just caked in blood. And you feel this pulse of warm liquid shoot out of your arm. And you look around you, and there's small perforations, almost like smaller arrow wounds. There's like slowly bleeding out, and you're just like drenched with blood. Yeah, you took 1 point of damage just from the blood loss.
That's good. It's a good
Now,
sign.
as the dark moon, the dark red moon is perfectly above you, one entrance leading out. What do you wish to do?
My skin hurts. Look around at the state of everybody and kind of assess what we're all at.
What are we doing here, man? We were killing people in the town.
This is not good.
I agree.
Should I heal you guys?
Just
You could try. Could you? Like, my skin's falling off, man. Can you like touch? Don't touch me, but can you like touch me? Heal me.
I mean, I don't want to metagame, but like, is this real damage, or?
I told the people who are taking real damage. There's a time where any number of you guys could take damage in any number of ways, but this like you feel affected in this area, in this town. You don't feel clean, and you feel worn out. You have encountered, just due to your profession, things like this in the past, but not to this degree. You are mildly inside of, yet entirely outside of your element right now. Like, you're familiar with signs, but you don't actually have experience with this particular situation.
It's a good movie, man.
I haven't been a druid in a long time. If I were to wild shape, can I talk?
No.
All right.
Maybe you could like spell out simple words with your paws in the sand.
And you hear sort of like the echoing words of like, find the eyes, find the eyes, find the eyes.
From which direction?
All around.
Can I? Oh.
Is there like a door around us anywhere?
There's one exit out. So you're in like a square of crops all around you. And there's one discernible exit out.
Is there?
I mean, it's crops, so you can try and go through.
Is there anything?
Away, but...
So there's like a pathway leading away from us, but what about like that pathway? Does it continue beyond where it's coming from? Or, like, are we in the central point of this path, or are we at the end of this path?
You're in a room, and there's only one path leading out.
We're in a room? I thought we're in a...
Yes, you were enclosed. I'll say that. You're in a room of corn. You're enclosed with one path leading out. It's a box. You're in a box of corn crops.
Like this.
You're like in an enclosed area with one exit.
It's like we were picked up and then we were dropped.
That was great
right
looking. It's just
here.
like very confused. Like, what?
Oh, so we're in a field.
You're in a
cornfield.
corn maze.
Gotcha. Sorry, you said we're in a box, and I'm like, are we in a
can't use
cornfield?
these words
Are
with
we in a
him.
box?
I've tried to use so many different words, and I said corn maze in the very beginning.
We're homeless.
No, I get it, but I'm trying to understand if the path that
There's not a continuing path. You're not in the middle of a path. You are in an enclosed area with only one way out, in or out. You're in a room is like a room of crops.
That's like exactly like that.
So we see walls.
Of corn.
Yeah, of corn.
Like really tall corn.
Those aren't walls. That's corn. Okay.
Walls can be made out of anything. You remember the last game? Walls of fire. That was a wall of fire.
All right. Well, looks like we gotta go this way.
Just pull a torch out of my bag and light it.
Yeah, sure.
If I like shake my arm, doesn't my skin fall off?
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Light that fire. Quick singe.
Can I tear the
Ooh,
bottom part
that's
of
good.
my dress off and like tie it around my wound to stop the bleeding?
You have many wounds.
Oh.
It's just your
Thought it
right
was
arm was more aggressive than the rest. Like the pulse of blood on your right arm is what notified you of the ailment overall, if that makes sense. Like you look down your arms and there are many different, almost like arrow wounds. You look down your legs and on your shins and there are many different arrow wounds, and each one is sort of like,
Gushing blood.
yeah, every now and then.
Can I cover your mouth, you dirty heathen?
What'd you get for your Constitution saving throw?
22.
You dirty go.
Okay, yeah, you are good right now for the most part.
All right now.
Can I look for that bubble thing that's running around my body and try and like cut it out with an axe?
Sure,
thanks.
roll a perception check or an investigation check.
Get naked and it'll be easier.
You feel it, but this is like you trying to like
17.
yeah, it's like it has sort of like rolled its way down your chest and
I'm gonna
into
wait
your
till it's
lower
in a
body.
non-vital area.
It's on your thigh right now, your left thigh going down.
Yeah,
Just, like, circling your
I'd like
knee.
to try and like, use my other hand to stop it, and then with the hand axe hand, try and just like quickly dig in and like flick it out.
Okay, roll a dexterity saving throw. Or dexterity check, sorry. Sleight of hand.
16.
You like cut off its like vector as it's going down your leg, and you stick the axe inside, and you're just like, and you're, and you like flick it out, and it's just sort of this ball of hair that's just rolling around the grass and disappears into the crops.
What the fuck?
You take 4 points of slashing damage.
I use all my healing spells too.
You also have apples, so
Try and tap the fire to one of the bases of corn. Like magical or something like that, or just regular corn.
tap the fire.
Yeah, I really lit a torch.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Set the field on fire.
You start to hear like as you get it close to the corn, you start to hear like, but like hundreds of. And as you get it closer to the corn, it starts to get more and more aggressive. And as you sort of like light a piece on fire, you roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
As it starts like everybody else sees him just like in this
7.
dazed state, and you take 3 points of psychic damage as you are just assailed by these screams. And like your torch comes out, and there's like half of it is doused by blood just dripping down the side of the handle. And you hear as you sort of like pull the torch away from the wall of crops, you see the face of the woman just peering with like one stalk in front of her face, and she goes, "You better hurry, you better hurry, you better hurry."
Is that metaphorical or is that literally hurry?
I'd like
I
to.
ask you that.
Are you speaking metaphorically? But, wow. I'd like to search for tracks or any kind of movement in the crops.
Okay. Go ahead and roll perception.
9.
As you sort of like try and like pay attention to your awareness and just like look inside and see if there's anything that's like coming in, out, watching, anything out of the ordinary. You are similarly assailed by these sort of like, you try and like look, you think you see something in between the stalks a little bit deep in, and you look closely and you see, you better hurry, and you feel the lump once more
Oh.
in your skin.
I'm gonna be like, we should head down that path. I think it's our only way out.
Let's go.
Man, we need
Ow.
to move.
Yeah, I'm gonna start walking down that path, but I would like to have.
I'll go first.
Yeah, you can just step over me. I'm a very small thing.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Sorry. Yeah, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say, does anything happen? Like, sorry, is the corn large enough that we can walk, like one stalk off the path?
No, it's very dense. You can try.
That's okay. I'll just walk on the path with everybody else then, in the back.
Okay.
I would like to walk with my rapier ready to stab.
3 of your wounds. You take 3 points of damage just from blood loss.
Hunt, can you heal me at all? I'm losing blood fast.
You're being dramatic.
Okay.
What were you doing?
You said
before
she's
the
only
blood?
lost 4 points of health total.
So far.
I'm gonna look you. I'm gonna size you up and like.
You're fine for now.
We're moving out, man. Keep up.
Here.
Keep
I'm
up.
gonna hand her
Get
the apple.
Caliban.
Fire's still going. Fire's still going.
Don't burn them. Let's just go.
I'm gonna be walking backwards while like occasionally looking over my shoulder, but just like looking behind us. Basically, I got the rear.
Okay, rear. Who's going forward? Who's going first?
I am.
Card in front.
I'll be next with the torch.
So, Card, Cal, Stabby, and Hunt.
And my rapier's at the ready.
Yeah, I got my halberd at the ready.
Ready an attack.
I have a hand axe at the ready.
So you're all holding your attacks if something happens.
Yes.
Short sword.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys progress down.
If a beast shows up.
If a beast shows up.
If a humanoid, I'll hold. If it attacks me, then I'll attack back.
You know what? I'll have a. I'll stow the hand axe and grab my short bow.
Where
It turns into a corner after about 20 feet, and your only path is to the left. But you hear this sobbing. Card. You hear this sobbing as you get to the corner of the straight path that you just walked down. And imagine the witch from the Left 4 Dead, like, no, why? Please don't take him. It's almost time. Why?
It sounds
Please don't
like the
take
witch from the Left 4 Dead series.
Where's that?
It's probably safe.
Left for dead.
If I know anything.
Do we all
Are
hear
you looking
this?
around the corner?
Is it
Yeah,
just
I'm
him?
gonna peep around. I'm gonna peep around.
You see this woman grabbing her enlarged belly and walking around away from you and like pausing and sobbing and talking about like how could this have ever happened to her? It's about to come. And she keeps walking. She turns and looks down a path to her right, and she looks in front of her down the path in front of her, and she just breaks down again. What do
I
you
just
do?
go, hey guys, there's a woman over there. Not chill.
Should we see if she needs help?
No, we should probably just kill her.
Just kill her.
I don't think anything in this maze is gonna be good.
All of you roll a stealth check if you're trying to be stealthy.
I'm.
Ooh, natural 19.
Let's roll stealth, I guess. Oh crap.
20, not natural.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
Are we trying to be stealthy?
24.
Yeah. I think that'd be the best thing for us right now in this maze, man.
I'm gonna go. That's
What'd you
me
get?
passing without a trace.
Oh, okay. And add 10 to everything.
30.
34.
27.
87.
8?
27?
Uh.
Highest roll in D&D.
She continues. She continues down past the first path to her on her right side. As she looks down, she continues wallowing. She's like, "Help, please, anybody!" She's like looking up the corn stalks as she's continuing to walk down. But there is a path to the right that is open, and she has not given any signs that she's aware of your presence.
Alright, man. Looks like she's going straight. But there's a path to the right. Do we sneak up behind her, kill her, go down that path?
Let's just ignore her. I don't know.
What if she chose the right path, though? Are we going straight or right?
Normally, I think we should help her, but
Don't ask me.
it's
then.
a trap. I know one when I see one.
Trap.
So, let's avoid her.
Okay.
We're gonna do an insight check on this lady who's passing us, I guess, and see if she.
Roll an insight
see
check.
If, like it would be like. Did she,
I'm gonna roll
did she
one,
do
too.
Anything?
I squint my eyes.
Let's see.
Didn't see nothing.
So
No.
24.
12.
Motherfucker, I'm safe.
Yeah, 24.
24. She seems genuinely upset, but she also, there's an aspect of her that seems not fully in place. Like she's like, she almost like doesn't understand the situation that she's fully in right now. She's like absent-mindedly looking for help and incredibly protective of her stomach.
I'm not sure she understands what's going on right now. Maybe, well, if we don't help her, it doesn't really matter, but if we do, it could benefit.
It's not our concern, man. We got our own problem.
But what if her problems become our problems?
Well,
and our
then
problems
we'll get
become
to
her
that
problems?
road when we cross it, dude.
We'll cross that road when we get to it? Is that what
Yeah.
you
Cross that hoop.
Yeah.
I think I can eliminate her as a threat.
Let's just go right, man. We already chose it. Let's just choose the path. Let's just go. Does
I try to mitigate,
wait,
but the path only looks like on the map that like it goes left.
It does only go left.
Oh.
It only goes left. So you guys are going down a straight path, and it only goes left. And in that left corridor, there's a path that goes right, and I actually misspoke. There's a path that goes left as well. So she just takes a left, and she disappears down the left corridor. The right corridor is free.
do we have anything like breadcrumbs? Like to show that we've been to
You
this
take
location?
3 points of
You know, I'm in the middle of something.
Exactly, and
Why
it
don't you just
distracts you as you you hold your hand out and you see a piece of your palm just falls off your hand.
Ow.
I have a bag of beets.
You take 3 points of damage as blood sort of spurts out of 2 different holes
am-
again.
Okay,
gonna-
we need to move.
I'm
I'm
gonna
falling apart
Roll a
here.
wisdom saving throw.
I'm gonna nod at you and leave a little mark as we're going by. Yeah. Draw a little symbol with my arrow in the dirt.
19?
Okay, the old woman sort of like you see her arm come out and curl her finger in the come here. You just like shake your head like it can't be real, it can't be real. and you convince yourself of that momentarily, but still questioning what is and is not real at this point.
This old lady really wants me.
All right, we're moving forward.
Which way?
Right.
Okay. With a 30 stealth, you proceed. You see her like at the direct entrance of the path to the left, and she's mere feet from you as she's just grabbing her belly.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna signal like I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna stay as you guys go, and I'm gonna come up right behind you.
So I'm gonna start slowly putting my bow and arrow away, and then ready. It's called gaseous form. If she seems threatening at all, I'm a like throw both hands on her and then turn into a gas.
You're gonna turn into the gas, or you're gonna turn her into
I'm gonna turn her into the gas.
Okay, like, Pots! Then you disappear.
Okay. Wait, so Card and the Hunt are staying and waiting for the rest of the group to go, or are you passing and waiting for her?
I'm in the back, so like my focus is like kind of towards.
Card is staying, like watching her
So
while
what I just
everybody
said
presses forward.
was I'm going to wait and watch her as you guys go by, and as you go by, I'll follow up behind you.
I'm gonna motion you as soon as I get up to you to like.
Yeah.
What are those?
Okay. She's still sobbing there, back turned towards you.
I'm just like as soon as the Hunt's full out back,
Caliban
real slowly
passes down first. He seems distracted for a second, and then continues walking. Stabby passes past him, a trail of blood behind her. The Hunt motions you, like, now let's get back in order, while keeping eyes on the woman. And she is... and you're like, okay. And you start backpedaling with the rest of the group back in line with what you were doing before. And she just turns around to you and looks you in the eye. Why aren't you helping? It's happening now! It's happening now! Are you gassing her?
She sees me?
Yeah, she's looking you in the eye and like pleading, like, why are
How far away am I from her?
You're 10 feet.
I'm gonna. Yep. As soon as I see that she sees me, and she's making a scene, I'm gonna run up, bear hug her.
Okay, as he like starts, you feel that like flesh mound inside of you in your stomach area, and you look down and your stomach is incredibly large, and you start to feel like pain, like incredible pain in your stomach, and you start to like you're roll a wisdom saving throw. I'm sorry, Constitution saving throw.
You're about to give birth to a Satan baby. I hope you're ready. It's a lot of responsibility, please.
She rolled a natural 20 for her perception.
Yeah, I was like, he
fuck?
rolled he got a 20. So yeah, I was like, what did you fucking?
I was like, the only way is a natural
I rolled
20.
a 7.
Okay.
Satan baby.
You feel like multiple pointed protrusions inside of your stomach as this thing is growing and bulbing your stomach outward, and just it's not just a smooth like entity or being inside of you being birthed out. It's literally like it's made out of porcupine spikes, and it's just and you see one claw like shift down your stomach, and you see taking that opportunity to shift all of its other appendages out and slice across your belly. And it's this like mound of flesh and like spiky tendrils with this very humanoid baby face. Just
Can I
like,
stab it?
Yeah, do we
Can I
see it?
stab
Do we
it?
see-
Can I do anything?
Do we see this? Do I
I'm
see this?
stabbing it with the daggers.
You
Stab,
guys,
stab.
were going forward. He is dealing with this now. As your stomach is just open with this baby on the ground.
We're not
you
too far
Can we
ahead of
hear
him. Do we
this?
I'm
hear
yelling.
it?
Yeah, can we hear it?
Yes, you can now, but he's taking the damage. The creature is like trying to like
Nah.
it's still this primal intelligence of just trying to escape and get out as it crawls into the crops and
We
leaves.
can't make it in time?
You take 16 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And
You're fine.
I throw 2 darts at this thing. No.
and 5 points of psychic damage. As you are seriously just like, what the fuck just happened? And you guys come up as this creature is like crawling into the crops to the right.
I would like to stab.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna
Attack.
stab it with my rapier.
Okay, it's at advantage because it's pretty much just on the ground.
Okay, if it's at advantage, I also have this other
And
thing.
the hunt's already small form is just on his knees, just grabbing.
No, I'm on the ground.
stomach.
I'm laying down.
Oh, okay.
My... Yeah, no, I'm like, ah! Can I do anything right now?
It's gotta be better than that. Oh, thank goodness. It's a 19.
As you're rolling on the ground, the hunt, you hear the warm press of air against your ear again, and you hear, "You're not meant to leave. You're in here forever with me. Until your skin rots away and your mind is left behind." And like recedes and crawls back down your neck.
I got a 25. To hit.
Okay, yeah, you fucking roll damage, but it's a baby creature, so you'll probably kill it.
Good. Hold on a second. 19 points of damage.
You straight stick the point of the rapier inside of the most human portion of it is the head, and you just go straight for the dome and just wipe it off of like stab it and then use your rapier to just like push it into the crops and get it like as it stops wailing and like clawing at everything, like stalks like slashing down from around it and finally goes limp, you just like fucking sweep it into the
Gross.
Yeah, into the crops.
I'm gonna wipe my blade off with my feet, and I'm just gonna be like, and then come back to the party.
Pop is first down.
Okay. You guys are regrouping as the hunt is rolling on the ground. What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself. Yeah.
Oh god! Oh god! Oh god!
Yeah, I'm gonna patch myself up.
Okay. Roll for your heals. Heals, Ryu.
That's 5 points of damage back. Got rid of that psychic damage. And maybe I'm just holding on to my open wound, applying pressure. I'm not actually stopping anything.
Okay, so what do you got? Are you guys still
Back.
following down the right path?
Yeah. I'm also having my rapier at the ready.
Did you ever eat that apple? Oh yeah. I'm gonna eat
2d8s plus 4.
Not bad.
Fuck.
It's not. It could be much worse.
Excuse me. All right. Oh god.
You actually feel the bump like recede and disappear, and your mind feels unassailed and your body feels as the most back to normal as it's felt since entering this crop maze.
Come on. Let's get out of here.
Okay, you guys continuing down the right path?
Yep.
All right, roll another stealth check.
29.
Look up here. Just for like 2 seconds.
27.
Just look. Nick.
22.
It could be such a cute picture. You just looked for 2 seconds. It's not worth it. It's fine. Alright. 26.
Okay.
Maybe now.
Okay. You guys are continuing down same order?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Card, you going first. You hear like this continual chattering throughout this maze. The deeper you get into it, the more you start to pick out different noises. Some sound entirely foreign and absent of intelligence, and others sound like they're just trying to figure something out, similar to the woman, just like stuck inside of this insane chamber. And you guys, you're pressing forward, and you get to the opening. And before you enter, you see a path to your right and a path to your left. Before you actually enter in to see what is down each path.
I'll peek around the corner.
Which one?
The right corner.
Okay. You peek around and see nothing but the channel of crops continuing. There is halfway down the path, there's an exit to the left, and then all the way down the path, there is an exit to the right.
I'll be like, all right, back. Go back to the group. So, look all the way down, right? Path to the right. No way, man. But before that, the one to the left. I say that left. Another path. Do we look at
As
it?
you turned, you saw that the left path just ended. It just like it receded a few feet. Did you somebody fart? Oh.
No, I'm just like, well, that would have been good information. Should probably leave with that.
So it's like the right and left path. Right had the left path and the right path, but the left path didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Got it. So left path. Ain't got shit. So we're moving down the right path.
Okay.
But do we go left or we go down to the right?
Is there something scary in that left path?
That's all scary, dude. Like,
I feel like this is gonna be a jump
It's
scare.
all.
We're in a field of bloody corn.
Yeah.
I got
My skin's
my
falling
sword
off my
ready.
fucking bones right now. Let's go.
I'm ready with my sword.
I'm moving.
I'm ready.
I pull my bow back out.
I'm gonna ready an attack for when we get to that left little area.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be ready to like stab in there in case there's something there.
Okay.
Moving.
Anybody else? Okay.
Got the halberd ready.
I still have my sword out.
Okay. Proceeding down.
Oh.
So much maze you can do with this small little meth beer guy here.
Don't say that. He's gonna put a really bad monster somewhere.
Are you passing? Are you taking
I'm
left?
stopping at the left corner to
Okay.
then peek around.
Okay. As you turn your head around the corner, you hear. You don't see anything down the corridor. And then you notice, like, trying to pinpoint with your sight where you hear the, like almost like the pressing of wind down somewhere. You look almost at the top of the corn, and you see like dip down over the edge of the corn, almost as like blanket that's like falling. And then it like snakes downward, and you see at the edge of the blanket like fingers.
Alex, I bring
And
my-
you
bring
see
my
at
face
the back of the okay. And you still
So-
now that you've heard it, you hear
The creepy blanket. No, we gotta go. We're not
Whole
going down
lot
that
of
way.
nope
Hold on,
down
nope.
there.
We're not going that way. We gotta get past this. We'll go down that path. We'll see what down the right. That right. Nope. Nope. But nope.
are you guys going?
What if we just stick a sword out a little bit to see if it attacks, and then someone else gets ready to like come down on it?
Okay. I pick up stabs and I like right around the corner.
me!
oh, okay. My bad.
I'm gonna put my sword out just a little bit.
I'm gonna
Someone
knock
get
an arrow.
ready. Get your
Okay.
axe ready.
I have an axe.
Oh, who has an axe?
It's
Oh.
halberd.
Oh, halberd. I don't know what a halberd is.
It's like an axe.
God damn it. Get your halberd ready. I'm gonna stick my sword out, the rapier out, into the opening.
Okay.
See if it attacks it.
Okay. And you start to hear like
Intense pushing. Like,
and it gets like you can hear it, and you can just like almost sense it there as you're actually looking into the reflection of the blade, and it is this pale colored blanket waving in the wind.
Is it right at the corner?
It's 5 feet from the corner, 4 feet from the corner, and you see it like in the reflection of the blade. You see it dip down and come up, and there are eyes, just wide-eyed, that's at the tip of this blanket, and you start to
slash
see
the
like
fuck out of
red in the.
Right in the corner.
Okay, as you come out, roll a dexterity saving throw.
And I release an arrow.
All right.
At advantage.
and I can see
No.
it. I can see the reflection. In my
Actually,
blade.
yeah, at advantage.
Times 2 damage.
Can I try it? Wait, I can see the reflection of it in my sword though, right?
Yeah.
Can I like when it's
He already
close?
jumped out.
Oh.
17.
17. You see Card jump out, and as he raises his halberd to take a swipe at it, you just see this flash of pink, fleshy texture adhere to him and just like wrap itself around him.
No,
And you
man.
see almost as
Ooh, it's too
though
warm.
Card is naked. It is this blanket of flesh that is wrapped around Card almost perfectly.
There's a dick in my face.
His face is wrapped entirely, and you can see another face like at the cap of his head facing a different direction that's just like trying to suck for air.
Stab me.
Could I tap my torch to him?
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Can I try to cut
Yes,
it?
you can, but are you trying to set her check
I'm
or not
trying
her
to,
check,
like-
Jesus, Card on fire?
Not set Card on fire, but just like damage this sheet of
6.
skin that's on him, like
6.
almost like a tick, like.
Can I try and cut it as well with a dagger?
You take 15 points
Ooh.
of piercing damage as you are reaching out with your
I'm just tapping the torch to it, like.
Yeah.
I'd like to
like-
take.
like
Con-
singe it.
I'd
and
like
you,
to use...
you see the flesh like curl up like as you're just sort of like rolling the flame up it.
I'd like to use.
Are you attacking her check or the skin?
The
Who?
skin.
Okay, go ahead and roll to
Card.
attack. I'm sorry, Card. I'm so sorry. You can't blame me for this.
No, I will.
Roll to attack. Whatever your AC is, which is 15.
15.
You have to beat by 3
Huh.
in order to actually cut
At
this instead.
advantage?
No.
I'm not moving though.
what
I'm
are you
allowing it to attack me.
Yeah, but she's literally trying to attack a thin veil of something over a huge body.
I'll
So
make it.
okay, roll damage. What did you
Oh,
roll?
No. 11.
Yeah, he's not moving. So you're roll damage.
After I released the arrow, which did it do anything?
Are you releasing it at the thing that's
As soon as he came down with the halberd, I released the arrow.
He didn't come down with the halberd. It beat him to the punch, and it's almost as though it saw a form, and instead of its like lumbering rolling, it went and just like yeah.
Okay. Well, as soon as it went, I guess it dodged my arrow. But
again, roll to attack, and you have to.
Oh no, I wasn't even
above
aiming
18.
I wasn't aiming at him, so there was no reason why I would turn the bow at
Okay. Okay.
card. But as soon as Caliban started to take his torch to the thing, I would like to try and control the flame and try and like wrap the flame around the skin thing.
Okay, roll an Arcana check.
I rolled a 4 for damage.
You take 4 points of damage.
Does it affect
16.
the skin at all though?
The skin will also take 4 points of damage.
Wow.
16.
16? Yeah, you successfully just sort of like take the flame and curl it up. You see it rolling back and almost like feeling very averse to this this temperature, and you sort of like curl it up and around Card's body, not actually pressing it forward, but it's like slowly like receding, and you see the flesh bunch up near Card's face, almost like this flesh cowl trying to recede. Roll another Constitution saving throw.
13.
Okay, you take 9 points of slashing damage as you feel the teeth sink into you even more and like rip off of your face and start to like you control the flame around it, and it just sort of like curls away and it like curls in on itself.
Oh.
Before it's just like you see like popped eye sockets just looking out as like burned hair, and this clump of flesh and meat is just like
That's really gross. Oh yeah. So did it just?
Hey, Caliban, can I get that apple?
Wait, is it gone now?
the flame successfully like burned like pretty much made it compact in on itself and like
Oh, that was
burn
just
away.
like kind of like constricting, but still there. Okay, cool.
You
Ow.
Can we say did you have any facial hair, or
Yeah.
can we say I?
Card, are you taking the apple? Are you giving him the apple?
Like you denied the apple at first. Why?
He's got a Team America beard now.
I'll hand you this apple, but you'll
I
have
snatch
to
it
do
from
something for me.
Eat it?
I take it and eat it.
2d8 plus 4.
You have to do something for me then. Yeah. It's a hefty price,
And
this apple.
your affliction of skin peeling halts for the moment. Some of the seams bind together.
Ooh.
Keep sucking your teeth.
That looked
Caliban.
looked like a tasty apple. I was just
I
saying.
thought-
Yeah, a lot of stuff you're doing over here,
I
Caliban.
was gonna
A lot of
save
stuff.
that apple.
Yeah, just sitting
I was
there,
gonna
Caliban.
save that.
Oh, real
Roll a
good.
Constitution saving
But you
throw.
know,
I'd like
at
to
least I didn't
also,
jump out.
I grabbed the fire from him.
I didn't
look in
jump
the-
out from the
I now have the fire.
In the
No,
room
you
to the
don't.
left,
I steal it.
with an arrow knocked now.
Are you going all the way down the channel or just looking?
No, I'm just looking.
Buddy,
Deep in.
buddy, Come on. Come on.
Okay, it doesn't.
3.
Okay, you take 1 point of
okay.
damage as just like blood sort of rolls down from your chest. Roll a wisdom saving throw, Caliban.
Yeah, I hope you fail this one too. You're lucky.
So 20, not natural, yeah.
Okay, same thing. At this point, it's like the creature has shifted into a different form that tries to be more appealing to Caliban. Like you see Prospero,
Oh.
like Come, Caliban. And you're like, Prospero couldn't possibly be here. He told me about things like
Yeah.
this.
This isn't happening. You're not real. Boo this person.
Boo
Boo this person.
Boo.
You don't see anything
Ah.
as you're looking down the left channel.
Hmm.
You do see a path arcing to the right. I'm sorry, to the left, and there's no other divergence. There's just a corner that shifts to the left for you. So it goes down one channel and then just takes a 90-degree turn to the left.
Where's the rest of the group going?
I mean, it's up to them.
We haven't moved.
Okay. I'm just gonna stick with the rest of the group then.
Okay.
Are we going left? Down the towel alleyway? Are we gonna go down a little bit more? Check out what's down
Towleyway.
the right.
I'm gonna pull out a coin.
Okay.
Flip it.
Okay. What is what? What is what?
Heads is the correct way.
We go straight.
All right, we're going straight.
I'm sorry. Straight.
You didn't even flip a coin.
You're
You might as well
facing-
just said
You're
straight.
facing.
So we're going straight.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
straight.
Okay.
Past the flying blanket that we just killed.
Can
to
I
make that way clear.
request that? What's your character name? Hunt
The hunt.
gets an inspiration dice for that amount of role playing. He didn't even roll. He didn't even flip the coin. He did it all in his head.
Yeah, I did it.
It was
Roll a d20.
very-
It's a
Very
persuasion. Add your
impressive.
persuasion.
My persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Persuade the DM. Usually a real high number you gotta roll here.
Okay. Nine.
No, he can't have an inspiration dice.
I tried, boys.
Dang.
You guys continue down the path. What are you turning
Peeking
immediately?
around the- no.
Peeking immediately? Okay.
No. No.
Roll a perception check as you look down the.
Real good. Like a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Like tons.
How much of a lot?
Like
Is it a natural
8.
one? Oh, 8.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
That's oodles.
It continues down and it shifts to the right. It has a 90-degree angle. I'm sorry, from your perspective.
Left.
God, why left? You're right. To the left. 90-degree angle to the left.
I'm just gonna look at them and be like, I don't see anything else.
It zigzags.
It zags and it zigs.
Zigzag, not zagzag.
No, it zags.
Who says zagzag? It's zigzag.
All my people say that. Are you dumb?
The people are wrong. Where are you from?
This is Caliban.
Thought you
guy.
hailed from a weird place.
Yeah.
What do you do there? Huh?
You're lucky.
You
Insight.
continue down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
You
still
get down to
readying
the
an
end.
attack.
And I look around the corner.
Put the fire there. Like, you don't want the same thing that happened last time, do you?
12 for perception.
Hmm? No fleshy things grabbing you?
You just take all the papers off if it makes it easier for you.
There's something. I saw something. It's not good. There's something.
Roll perception check.
I had 12.
Oh, okay. You hear the sloshing of water. And it's a short path. You look down and it's like 10, 15 feet before it takes another left.
All right.
And like around that left corner is where you hear this like.
Well, I slowly
Sounds like
slowly
a blanket.
moves forward. You stay here with the fire.
Sounds like a blanket.
You
sure
sound
you
like
want
you
this?
sound like a blanket. No, I don't
But you
want. I
sound
want
like
to
a
be
wet
stealthy.
blanket.
I want to be stealthy here.
Roll another stealth check, by the way.
All of us?
Natural 18, so 29. Nailing them stealth checks.
15.
Plus 27. Oh, is Passed Out Trace still going on? Or?
Yeah. Well, it's not been 10 minutes, right?
It is
Or no,
approaching.
Is it 10 minutes or an hour?
Pretty sure it's an hour.
I think it's 10 minutes. It might be an hour.
1 hour.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're good so far.
So like
So 29, 28,
29.
27?
24.
15.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, sorry.
It's plus
I
10?
forgot to
For being a huntsman.
You forgot to add 10?
No. It's 18 total.
Okay.
Forgot to add my stealth.
All right. What are you guys doing?
I'm telling, like, Caliban, just wait right here, man. 2 seconds. Hunt.
But what
With me.
happened? What happened last time?
Shut up.
Wait 2
And
seconds.
I'm off. Hunt with me. We're gonna peek around and just see what we see. I hear water. I can turn into a snake. What if like a bird snatches you up, man?
The eagles will get him.
He'd be able to get a bird's eye view. Snakes.
Yeah, man.
Turn into a bird and get a bird's eye view.
I can't turn into a bird.
Oh my god.
I can
Druid,
I've
are
never
you?
seen a bird before in my life.
And you turn into a spider.
Only snakes.
Okay, let's just peek. Save it, man. We'll just peek real quick, just 2 seconds. We're gonna peek. We're just gonna peek.
You just like
Hunt.
hold the snake out, and he's like,
He's like on my shoulder. Ah!
Throws me. Okay.
All right, I'll snake later. Snake you later.
ow. Okay. She's good.
There he is. There's the hunt. All right, we're looking around the corner.
Oh, of the sloshing waterway?
Yeah.
Okay. As you peek around, the path of like rocks and dirt dips down into a level channel of sloshing red water
Oh.
with debris sort of like rising from it. It continues down maybe 30 feet until it hits more dirt and becomes more dirt again, but it's a smooth channel of dark red water. Roll a perception check.
15.
You can see one of like the pieces of debris that's rolling around. It continues to roll, and it's like fur, hair, and skin, and a smile
Oh.
as it continues rolling.
We're backing up. Where, you see that? You see that, Hunt? You see that, Hunt? No. It's a whole bunch of nope
The
in that
path
water.
continues.
No, let's go back to
across the
blanket.
way.
Let's go back to the blankets. Back to the blankets. Unless you want to go down this way, I tell them what I saw.
I'm gonna nod and tell like motion, like yeah, take point.
Okay.
I'll watch this.
All right.
I'll just point an arrow at
All right,
at the
we're going
water.
back to the blankets.
Okay. Walking down the corridor that you came from,
Skin blankets.
you see an arm reach around
Oh.
about 10 feet up. This clawed arm sort of
Wait,
like tap
which corner?
the corner that you came from.
So we're
Another arm,
Oh, we're moving.
and you see
we're
this
moving back.
exactly, and you see this human head turn around the corner, but it's like in a position that's completely opposite to the anatomy of its arms going like this. Like it's out this way,
Oh no.
and it sort of turns and looks at you
No.
and smiles, and like this long tongue comes out and like wraps around its head and slicks all the way in and goes back into its mouth, and it starts pressing farther towards you guys.
So I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
it curls its whole
casually.
back.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go this way, guy. I'm gonna buy. Just what?
You're going back to the primordial
going back-
soup?
No, wait.
The soup is the
Opposite.
not
Say-
direction.
So you're saying it's
with
coming
the-
around
Not
from this
so it's
corner,
going
right?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we're going to the soup, guys.
Wait, hey, I'm gonna look at you and like
This guy
motion.
looks
I'm gonna start
flirtatious.
backing up into the
Yeah.
like getting into the corn a little bit.
Okay. Don't put me right there.
Oh.
It's not the same thing. You know what? This will probably be better.
Just right there. Yeah, push me in the corn.
And
Crap.
Oh.
It's just crawling. I don't have anything that's what I'm imagining in my
Crap,
mind.
man. I'd like to speak with animals.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
I guess we're hiding in the corn. Hiding in the corn. I'm
Yeah,
holding
let's
the
hide in the
attack.
corn.
And then-
Holding in the attack. Holding the attack.
You're hiding in the corn?
Yeah.
And we're gonna step off the path and wait for the scary dude with attacks ready and then stab.
Okay, as you press your bodies, like, you get behind the corn stalk, you feel your body press against something warm and wet.
No.
And you feel it, like, pouring down your shoulders.
Nope.
As
No,
you're
no,
going
no,
inside of
It's
the
fine.
stalk.
Just let it drip. Just let it drip. It's fine. I
Roll
had to
wisdom,
take it.
every single one of you roll a wisdom
I'm gonna-
saving throw.
God
I'm gonna shrug it off and get back onto the path.
Ooh,
That's nice.
8.
6.
Hmm.
Hey, we're doing really good with this.
What do you roll? A 5?
7.
This is
Plus-
probably
plus 10?
accurate.
Hold on, 8? You said 6?
ha-
8, 6?
I don't remember.
5.
It was low.
5?
It was below 10.
I have an 8.
You had 8. You guys. Okay, what'd you roll, Calvin? 7. Wow. Okay.
We're not doing too hot.
Your vision starts to get. You feel the warmth pour down your scalp and across your face, and your vision starts to blur red, and you feel the warm wetness like
Okay, I step out.
suck you in.
I want to try
Roll
to step out.
a strength saving throw.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to step out.
All of you roll a strength saving throw.
You're not.
Come on, come on,
Ooh.
come on. Oh my
Wow.
god. It's a natural 1 plus my saving throw is a -1, so it's a 0.
25.
25.
My little
I rolled a
god.
16. I can't see. Oh wait. Oh, 17.
15?
Sorry, 24.
Okay. You both are able to press your bodies out just in time.
Stabs.
Stabby, you get sucked into this wall and feel like it's slowly pushing you back out as you just hear like you almost feel like teeth nibbling on your body and like hands grabbing your flesh
Ooh.
as you are brought and just spit out. Get out of here.
Use the nails.
Past the soup, right? I'm good.
Yeah, actually, pass the soup.
Oh. Wow, okay. That's
Saw
not bad.
something.
We'll just put you right here for now.
Oh,
As
of
you
course.
Right next to the
right
thing.
next to that very scary
as you
thing.
like plop out and see this guy who's shivering and a bear trap is fully closed through his leg and there are about 10 other bear traps around him and you sort of get plopped out and your face is like right at the triggering mechanism and you sort of like look around and you can see the blood water to your right. Caliban,
She's like sleeping, standing up.
you plop out right here.
Oof.
And now I want everybody to roll initiative.
Oh, fuck you.
Hey.
You sleepy girl.
13.
21.
9.
The hunt.
Don't you touch her tail.
Sorry.
You can just move.
No.
Midna.
We can't.
You can politely and gently pick up a cat and put the cat someplace else where it is not either
21.
being harmed or assailed by anything.
Look, she's
21.
asleep.
What is your dexterity?
Dexterity?
Yeah.
18.
Her eyes are closed.
The hunt, what's yours?
16.
Okay.
So tired.
You said she was sleeping all day?
Yeah.
What was yours again? Card?
13.
Okay. And Stabby. Okay, Cal, you are up. As you get plopped out in a familiar track, you look to your right and see the. It's honestly odd. You thought you saw an arm and head curl around and start walking, but you're looking at an arm and head facing you as well. It is. I took this creature from The Evil Within too. One half is a torso connected to another torso, as like two heads are just like connected together on the side that's looking at you, just sort of like lulled and looking crazed. And you also hear the familiar wind sound coming from a channel, again familiar to you.
Yeah, karma's coming back at you, bitch.
Let's see. So I am going to run towards this thing since I know people are on the other side of it, and I'm going to attack it twice, but as a bonus action.
Now you gotta pick her up.
Hunt, you're up next.
I'm gonna use Step of the Wind, so my jump distance is doubled.
Put her on your lap.
Basically, I'm gonna like run up towards it, do like a little somersault, flip over, and just like
It's like,
Jab
come
it
on,
twice.
man.
Okay, go for it. Roll to attack.
So the first one is using my short sword. Where is short sword is plus 7. So 13 and 22.
13 for your first attack, 22 for your second.
Yeah.
First one misses. As are you using a short sword or bow staff?
Short sword.
Yeah, as your short sword sort of like it uses its tongue and wraps around your arm with a short sword, just sort of like bending it as you're still being trajected towards it, and you use. Are you still using the short sword for your?
Yeah, it's kind of like. But I guess if it has my arm, I'll just use the torch, I guess, and hit it with that since it has my arm.
Okay, you just stick it right into its face where the tongue is coming out of, like, it retracts the tongue. Your arm is free. Go ahead and roll, I would say, 2d6 plus your strength. Or your dexterity because you're a monk.
So that's 11 points of damage.
Okay. As its reaction, as you're you've swiped, got grabbed, stuck the torch in its mouth, and it sort of like let go of you momentarily, the human hand reaches and grabs your forearm as you're falling, like arcing past it, and it just grabs you as you're just sort of like hanging about 15 feet in the air right now. Next up, the hunt. And you see Caliban just sort of like hanging there, his longsword in one hand, the torch still in his right hand, being grabbed by this creature with only human arms and human heads as its top and bottom.
I'm gonna
It should grab me
try.
out of the air.
It did, yeah. That was its reaction.
I'm gonna try to use
And you're just hanging there.
control flame again to take the flame and like engulf.
Arcana check.
Uh, 13.
Well,
Just try to have the flame spread so that it's like going around.
just manages to be enough to like curl up the arm of the creature, and it lets go of the majority of its strength and its grip, and its claws, its like long nails still carve into you as you slide down onto the ground, and you will take. Actually, roll a dexterity saving throw as a monk. 1 point of bludgeoning damage if you don't.
Yeah, I guess.
But 3 points of slashing damage from the nails.
10. I don't know.
10, yeah, still 1 point so a total of 4 points of damage. 1 bludgeoning, 3 slashing. As you fall to the ground, the creature's like, it's much more scary than that. Okay, next up is it's just going to jump straight down at you, Caliban, as it uses the pain and just lets go and leaps straight at you. Definitely hits your armor class. And as the two heads are coming in your direction, the mouths split open to reveal like many layers of teeth as it's just coming down straight at ya. God damn it. You take 12 points of piercing damage as it embeds itself in like the top of your shoulder, and on the top left of your shoulder and the bottom right underneath your right armpit, as it's like a vice. Its two heads are like bringing your chest closer and closer, and you can feel pressure inside of your torso. And you are also pinned right now. Okay, Card, you're up.
Do I see all that shenanigans go down?
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna run over in mid stride. I'm gonna rage, and I'm gonna do 2 reckless attacks against it.
Okay. Whoops.
First one's a natural 17 plus 7, so 26 or something like that. Does that hit?
You roll a 17?
Natural 17, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Okay. There's natural 20 on the second one.
Okay, dope. Go for it.
Hold on, I gotta find my. There it is. 1d6 additional. And this is gonna be. The 1d6 will be for radiant damage.
Okay, roll for damage.
4 radiant damage. 14 slashing.
4 radiant, so 18 total?
For the first strike, yeah.
Okay.
And then for the second strike. 32 for the second. That's the natural 20.
How do you want to do this?
First.
You see it like two
First-
of its heads lodged onto the different portions of Caliban's body. Just like you hear a crunch of bone as you're arriving on the scene.
First slice, like just a nice deep gash of just radiant damage, like glistening off its body, and then the next one just like straight on through.
Okay, nice. You sort
To
of
like kind of rip it off.
yeah, you send these glyphs like shooting through the air to attach onto it, and like like burning inside of its skin, and you start to see it like peel apart as you use your finishing blow to like impale it between the two midsections, just like severing it entirely. It doesn't quite work in your favor immediately, because in the creature's like dying throes of jerking around, it's like ripping your the teeth are still in your skin, and so it's like shifting around and ripping some of your flesh. But otherwise you take, I won't roll for damage, it's a cinematic effect. But the creature just sort of like stays on top of you, teeth still embedded. And in Card, as you look up, you see the curl around the corner.
Okay, we need to move, Caliban. We need to move now. So with my,
I'm trying to, but I can't move
move
until 6
with
seconds.
the rest of my movement, I'm kind of like, I'll stay with him
Okay.
because he's getting wrapped up by the penis blanket.
Stabby, as you're on the other side, surrounded by these bear traps, and the individual inside, he goes, "Don't steal my teeth. They're mine. My teeth. Keep the mouth open to swallow the meat. They like meat." And he's just like looking at his leg as it's fully swallowed by this bear trap, and he just sort of like continues this cycle of rambling about teeth and what they like and different things.
That's next to Card.
Can I talk to him and be like, who likes your teeth? What are you talking about?
Yeah. He goes, wait, actually. He goes, Numeratian likes my teeth, likes the teeth in the flesh, Numeratian must make him happy,
I'm gonna be like, I can get you out of this trap.
No!
You wanna stay in the trap?
Keep me. Teeth. Put your meat in the teeth to make him happy. Put your meat in the teeth. Don't take the teeth.
What if... Okay, that's fine. Close your eyes and think of the teeth.
Roll a persuasion check.
I'll do it too.
I'll do it.
Advantage.
No.
Okay. 16.
Okay, you see him like look down, and he's like,
And I'm going
you
to
see there's like drool coming down the side of his mouth.
I'm gonna stab him right in the neck with the dagger.
There's like 10 feet separating you and him.
I thought he
You'd
was,
have
like,
to roll
right-
like, yeah, there's like a patch of bear traps.
Okay.
She's really trying to get that water.
Is it water?
Yeah. I guess it's hers now. Are there any rocks near me? Like pebbles?
Yeah, quite a few.
I'm gonna... And are there traps that don't have people in them right now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna pick up a rock and like throw it near one of the traps.
Okay. Roll just like add your dexterity.
Maybe just roll on your notebook.
Oh, I was looking for the dice. Let's see. 9.
I said add your
The
dexterity.
30 and 9 you rolled.
It just bounces right on the outside of the triggering mechanism and doesn't activate it.
Can I do like a...
So that was like throwing a rock was like a bonus action. You can still have your action.
I would like to keep my distance from the traps,
Okay.
but
You
I
just
would
want to move.
like to move.
Okay. And by the way, you
down
guys
the
don't know
path.
where she is.
So I'm here. So
Dealing
can I
with
move?
Naked blankets.
Can I move like here? So actually, no. I I guess I'll move here and peek around the corner at this.
Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
Or, I'm sorry, dexterity check. As there is a patch of bear traps in your way. There's like a short distance. There's like I would say like 2 rows that you're going to have to tiptoe past.
14.
Easy enough. You just like toe in between the teeth, but not on the triggering mechanism. And you clear past them.
And then I'm gonna peek around the corner and try and wait to see if I see my party members. Wow. Even Midna was impressed a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, you only see Hunt.
I'm gonna. Can I wave my dagger at him, like, to get his attention?
Oh, you moved the wrong one. I forgot.
Oh shit!
Oh.
Sorry. Both small people.
I'll like try to
Y'all look the same.
glint the dagger.
Okay. Yeah, I guess roll a performance check, but it should be easy enough to see.
12.
All right. Yeah. You sort of Hunt. You see this like glint of red as it's like the reflection of the blood moon is showing off of Stabby's dagger, Stabby's stabbing tool. Initiative is over right now, so you guys have, as the enemy is gone, and you just hear Stabby like the muttering of teeth, flesh, what it likes. Yeah, numerati and this, numerati and that.
From
you
the
guys doing?
guy or from the soup?
From the guy.
Oh, okay.
Stabby!
The carpet is still coming down. The flesh carpet is.
Let's go as we continue down.
I guess we're
pathway.
running through the blood.
We're going to the blood thing?
I mean,
I
how
got
do we get back?
sucked into the corn and then it popped me out over here. I don't know if it's by random though.
Oh, God.
Do we try it?
I'm going in.
To the blood?
Yeah, I'm going to start wading into the blood.
Maybe test it.
Okay, no, he goes wading into the blood.
Yeah.
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
But I'm going to stow my bow and arrow, and I'm going to have both hand axes.
I would
Okay.
like to
Because I
ready
roll a
short
Constitution saving
bow.
throw.
I'm right behind him.
Okay.
Ooh, oh no.
So
9. This time, it's harder to pass the alluring aspect of Prospero, as he's saying, "I've been here before. I know what you're going through. Come, follow me. Follow me, Card."
This place is kind of
And
festering, and
you
I'm
see
not Card,
Card,
but
not Card, Jesus.
can't remember your own brother.
Caliban.
Thanks, can't remember your own brother. I see how
And
What?
you see Caliban stick his arm into the crop, and you see like a hand grab him and pull him in as he's
I instantly turn around like, what are you doing, Calvin? I reach for him. Grab
roll
trigger.
dexterity saving throw.
Ooh. Maybe the saving throw is a little bit higher than actual. Hold the phone. Hold it. Hold it harder. 16.
You are completely convinced that this is what you have to do to get out of this maze before a tight grip wraps
believe
itself
it.
around your opposite hand, and you look over your opposite shoulder to see Card pleading to and pulling you away from this
What's wrong
thing,
with
and
you?
you
I'm
look
not wrong.
You
This
look
is
into
me.
the crops again, and Prospero is gone.
But-
And you're like, I could have sworn
What'd you do?
he's just there.
Scared him away. How could you?
You guys.
What are you doing?
My brother was right there.
Well, you don't-
What'd you roll for your-
You messed it all up.
In the place of all places, your brother's here.
He
And
was
we're-
in the crops. He
if-
could be in some strange places. It's happened before.
God.
You know what you're doing,
Oh,
staring, huh?
no, it was a 16, I promise you.
Oh, okay. Then you take 1 point of damage as blood just sort of like squirts out of your shin and into the trail of red water. It's just red. It's not blood or anything.
What I did want to do is ready a short bow to attack anything that tries to attack them when they go through the blood.
Okay. As you guys are pressing through,
Both hand axes. Ready.
Yeah, holding him by the hand.
as you're taking the front, all three of you are going in.
Yes. Got my
Um,
halberd at the ready.
The hunt, you could swear you feel the ball of flesh, whatever it is, inside of your leg again, and then it fades. And then something else passes by your right leg, swarming by.
You chop it.
Okay, you chop, nothing is there. As you guys are waiting,
A little bit faster. A little bit
in-
faster. A little bit faster.
Could I hand off the torch to somebody? Like, I guess I hand it off to Card if he's near me.
Card wanted it before.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
I hand
Okay.
the torch off to Card, and I take my sword, and I
Yeah,
speak its magical
We're
words.
kind of like
Its magical
jogging
words,
through
and
this water.
It kind of bursts
blood
into
water,
flames.
blood
the
ocean.
sword, so it's like, and then it basically turns into a torch itself.
Okay.
You did that the whole time?
Okay. You guys are pressing forward in through the water, and like it almost does feel like snakes are underneath it. And there's like a light pass across your skin at first, and then it's like a bump, and then it gets more aggressive, and like pushes you to the side a little, pushes all three of you in, and you see this like this cylindrical toothy maw
Slice it,
stick
slice
out
it,
of the
slice
water. Okay, go to attack. As one
Natural 18.
I'm taking two.
card dispenses of, and multiple are now sort of like leaping out of the water at you guys.
We're still running.
Still
running
okay,
an
so
attack. Run an attack.
2 rounds of skill checks. However you're going to defend yourself against these, you get +2 to your rolls because of Stabby, just name who you want to give +2 to every time, and this will be like you helping to defend them.
Can I just go to the person that's being attacked the most or closest to one of those things?
You have to decide. You have to have your eye on somebody.
Oh, okay. So it jumped out at him first, right? That's the first
Yeah,
one I saw?
mhm.
Alright, so then he gets +2 the first time.
Okay, well, he already dispensed of it, so this is a
Oh.
new
Okay.
round.
And what's the order?
The order is the hunt, card, and Caliban.
Okay, then I'll do +2 to Caliban.
Okay, Caliban being last in this first round. Everybody, how are you doing this? As you're pressing forward and running, and you can see like the bodies now rising up and trying to
Stabbing.
attack you. You feel like your leg
Attacking,
get
yeah.
tripped up. Okay, so you're attacking just straight up like physical attacks.
Yeah.
Okay, physical attacks.
Yeah, just use my
Okay,
sword so they can
roll an attack with dexterity. Roll an attack with strength. Roll an attack with strength.
Wait, do we just use one attack or 2 attacks? Just one attack.
Just this is one roll as you guys are running forward.
14.
15.
We're using a dexterity modifier or a weapon modifier.
Your dexterity modifier, or I guess your weapon modifier.
24.
24. Oh, so like
That's a
many
+7.
different corpses are like almost being pulled up outside of their own physical ability, just like rising out of the water and coming and falling on you as these little
Get that.
as these serpentine serrated teeth, I guess like you could think of them as leeches are leaping after you, and you are just with your boat. What weapon?
Short sword.
With your short sword, just
On
like
fire.
decapitating one, like sticking your blade inside of the skull of one of the corpses that's rising at you. You look over, you see an arrow pass over your shoulder as another one is coming at you, and you're just like running down, repeating this process. Arrow, just like you can see the mist, sort of like of the water evaporating as your flame blade is crossing across it. What did you get, Card?
15.
You are also pressing forward in the middle of this group. You hear all this activity behind you, but you still hear Caliban's breath right at your back, and it just encourages you to go forward. You actually see a corpse like fall from the top of the crop wall, like not even out of the water, just like, and he just like sinks his teeth into you as you're in the middle of fighting both the serpent creatures and the corpses, and you take 6 points of slashing damage as the teeth, or I'm sorry, piercing damage as the teeth sink into you, and you're just sort of like wading forward, elbowing one in the head, using your halberd to just try and like keep as much distance from these things as possible. What did you roll, the hunt?
14.
14. Your leg gets like tugged out from under you, and your head gets pressed into the water, and one of the heads that sort of like rolls around and just bites a portion of your cheek and rips it off, and you take 7 points of ripping damage as you sort of like gain your senses back, and with your 2 hand axes are just hacking into the corpses in front of you and slicing lengthwise down these leeches that are coming at, like one leaps over the shoulder of one of the corpses and just and into the corpse as well, and just like hack through its jugular. Go ahead and roll one more time. And who are you?
I'll give it to him.
Okay. To the hunt is getting this.
21.
21, okay.
Rolling again.
Yeah. Everybody roll. Except for Stabby.
Nice.
Natural 20.
It's a good thing you got that. Oh. There you go.
18.
Okay, you guys are
plus 2.
in this
21.
assailants of madness around you and corpses. It's like you start to very quickly get the picture of the enemies that are attacking you. Serpent, slug, leech things that will either jump at you or attack you from underneath the water. Corpses that are slow moving, and again, like a well-oiled machine, arrows are flying past you and into enemies that you can't cover. Just bisecting, hacking off limbs, pressing through this water. Still feeling like the jerking motion of hands pulling you beneath the water, but being able to quickly react and cut the hands off. You all plop yourself onto the other side, and with with Stabby as her little goblin arm is helping just sort of like pull you up, and then just like still firing when she has a chance. And you see all of the activity in the water, like the corpses and everything, just like recede back underneath the blood. And they don't recede fully. It's like their heads are still watching you.
What, duck facing?
Yeah, they're hot.
Okay.
They have Instagram accounts over.
As you guys are all breathing very heavily at this point, the hunt, as you get out of the water, you feel that bubble come back in your chest and start to move around again. You all pick yourselves up and see the man
still trapped by the bear trap, just his eyes closed, looking towards some deity that you don't, or some figure or creature, just absolutely blissed out of their mind, like something is coming for them and they want it. And then there is one path continuing down to your right. Bear traps to your left, one path to your right. And
I'm gonna fill them in on this guy.
Okay. And with that, I think we will pick up next time. Because we will extend Halloween just for you guys.
Yay!
Who wants October to be over? I know I don't.
Can we,
I
can we
don't.
play again before? Actually, it is.
We
you
can
don't know what time it is, though.
We can try. We can maybe play tomorrow or Tuesday, and we can release this on Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see. As the raid flies, as they say.
Yeah, 11.
Thank you for watching SASANS. As always, until fate next brings us together. And never stop playing role-playing games.